the discussion was, well, how can we source candidates using SharePoint or, for example, any other, say, technical skill? So I'm going to show you how I do it, and we'll just see if this works. This would work for you. So one of the sites I use is something called Stack Overflow or Stack Exchange. And before I get to the actual job board they run, I want to kind of show you what their business model is and why I find them to be a useful resource. So let's just say I had a bug, SharePoint bug in C#, if that pulls up what I'm looking for. So you can see Google right away wants me to go to something called Stack Exchange. And the reason that that site ranks so well is because, in fact, it has done a very good job of getting experts to come to it and answer questions. So here's somebody who's asking about some C# bug they had related to SharePoint, and they got 6 quality answers. And you might wonder, well, why would anyone want to answer something for free? Because effectively that's what they've done. And there are a lot of reasons. One is, developers tend to be either grouchy or altruistic. These ones tend to be altruistic, at least when they're answering. The other thing is they earn what are called reputation points on Stack Exchange or Stack Overflow, and that means that they have a lot of prestige in the community and so on and so forth. So that said, a lot of people sign up either to ask a question or to get it answered. And the result of that is when you create your profile, you can say whether you are interested in hearing about employment or contract opportunities. And if you are, then you show up in searches of for people who have subscriptions to the careers site of Stack Exchange. So I'm going to go there now. So it's careers.stackoverflow.com. And what we can do is search for any title we want. I'll go ahead and search for one. And I'm going to say, let's just say C#, and we'll say Indianapolis. And actually, I just made a mistake because I was searching for jobs. Clearly, we're wanting to search for candidates. So I'm going to switch to the employer thing. I make this mistake with every job board I work with. I always somehow end up on looking for a job instead of looking for candidates. I'm interested in candidates. And as you can see, I've got a number of searches going already, but we'll create a new one. And it already selected SharePoint because that was the last one I did. And so there we go. I have searched for SharePoint, Indianapolis in the United States, and I've got 26 responses, and it's kind of showing me where they are. 25 in this area, 1 up there. And I can, like I'm sure you've used other job boards, same kind of information. So we can look at this. Sean, who happens to be in Cincinnati, and get his background. And what I do invariably is I go through the candidates and I might dismiss them. In this case, I'll just dismiss him, just to show you what that looks like. Meaning I just don't want him to show up on my list. And now I'm going to look at Stephen, who's in Dublin, Ohio. Is that far from you guys?
I'd say it's probably like a good 4 hours away.
Is it? Let's do somebody closer. Let's look at Clay.
Yeah.
So we got Clay. He's at BioStorage in Indianapolis, and he is a software architect, and he's listing SharePoint as one of his skills. And also can kind of see he's into Microsoft technologies, web stuff, and so forth, and he's got a bachelor's degree in some kind of computer science degree from Purdue. So if I wanted to message with him, I would just click the message, and you can kind of see how I've pre-formatted mine. I usually start out like this, and I've been actually recruiting developers in Karachi, so I have this template message that would go out to the person, and I would just click send message. Now obviously I'm not going to send that to him, he's not in Karachi or anything, but the point is I could send these messages very quickly. So if I wanted to get a SharePoint guy, or gal, excuse me, I would very quickly go through these candidates one by one. For the ones I'm interested in, I would use my templated message and send it off.
I do. When you go over and you look at their profile, does it tell when they're last active? So you know if they're if they haven't just posted their stuff online, it's been a few years and they're actually still like checking their messages and still on there and looking?
Yeah, let's see. So one thing that I can do when I use this a passive annotate. Okay, so this guy says, no way, I don't want you even bothering me. Cool. Owen, I can tell whether they're still involved with the system because it lets me see their answers, and I can see if they've had a recent answer that they've posted or question that they've posted. It also tells me if they're an active candidate. Although I tell you, a lot of times I'm using this at night, so I'm wondering if I just have a better response time when I use it at night.
Oh, yeah.
All right, there we go. So let's see if we can determine. He updated his profile in June of last year. He's indicated that he's an active candidate interested in a full-time position. He likes SharePoint as well as other Microsoft skills, just likes printers as I do. Looks like he's been with the same company for a long time, so the possibility is he hasn't gotten the pay raises maybe of somebody who's hopped around, and so maybe he can be tempted with a higher pay rate. He says he's got a Bachelor of Science from Wesleyan. Pretty cool. And now we get down to, he's got 128 reputation points. He talks about what he's reading. I don't know if this is where I click, it's been a while, where I see what questions he's answered.